Hey guys, Sturge here, and I'll be showing the top 5 TH13 ranked attack strategies to use to get yourself to Valkyrie League, Witch League, or even Golem League. And using the armies I'll be showing today, I was able to reach Golem League 20 going against TH15s, and at the time of recording this video, I was 11th in the world as a TH13. Starting off with the first attack here, it is a Royal Champion charge into a Dragon and Dragon Rider hybrid. We'll be attacking this TH14 here, and you want to take out the Eagle Artillery or even the Town Hall. And the Town Hall is probably the main priority with your Royal Champion charge. So we'll drop the Royal Champion down here using the ability immediately for the Seek and Shield to take down a couple of buildings. And we'll drop our first invis here to make the Royal Champion path to these buildings. And once the invis is about to fade, drop the next one while also dropping them onto the buildings that the Royal Champion is targeting here. We'll drop an Earthquake onto the Town Hall and the surrounding buildings, and we'll continue to drop our invis spells heading over to the Inferno. We'll drop a Rage here to speed up through these buildings, and once we lock onto this Sky Shot and take it down, we'll drop an invis over on those defenses as they will path her over to the Town Hall, and we'll drop our final invis on there as we take the Town Hall down for that first star. So we get the Eagle, the Town Hall, and a bunch of other defenses leading up to that there, so not too bad. Now we're going to take out 2 air defenses with our Queen's Giant Arrow, so we'll drop the Queen down here, taking down those 2 air defenses. And we have some Clean Castle Dragons coming over to her, so she will probably go down to those dragons. There's also a Royal Champion there, so she's definitely going down to those troops there. We'll drop the dragons and the balloons over at the right side. I did drop a couple of dragons down towards the bottom to go for and take out the Clan Castle Dragons. We have our Stone Slammer coming in with the couple of heroes, remaining heroes, to go into the middle of the base. We'll use our War Nobody here to heal the balloons back up and also keep the Dragon Rider up through that single Inferno at the beginning of this push here. We have the Clan Castle Dragons taking down our Stone Slammer, so the balloons come out of that Clan Castle down towards the bottom of the screen. We still have an freeze to drop. Scatter Shot is distracted onto one of our dragons, so we're good there. We have an invis, or the Inferno, locked onto our Dragon Rider, so we do have to freeze that to keep that Dragon Rider up through the last air defense on this left side of this base to hopefully get this 3-star. We have a minute left in the raid, a ton of dragons, all of our Dragon Riders still up actually, to go through the last bit of air targeting defenses with just the couple of Archer Towers for the easy 3-star for the first attack of the day against the TH14 and the TH13 for a plus 40 trophies. On to the next attack strategy. It is a pretty fun one. It is the Master Barbarian attack strategy with a bunch of super wizards inside of the Clan Castle. We attack in this TH14, and the first thing you want to do is look for the air defenses, and we also want to look for where the air sweepers are pointed and not go in their direction. And we want to line up the air defense with the Town Hall, so we can drop the Lava Hound first to line it up with the Town Hall, and also do the same thing with the Blimp. Drop in the Ice Block spell onto the Lava Hound. It will not freeze the Blimp. It will soak up the damage for the Blimp to head over towards the Town Hall. Once the Wall Breakers go, once you drop the Blimp, drop the Clone, the Rage, and a Freeze onto those wizards to take down the bunch of buildings here, and using up the remaining invis every about 3 seconds to take down the Town Hall and the Clan Castle troops there for a decent chunk of the middle of the base gone here. We'll head over back to where we dropped the Blimp, and we'll drop our Barbarians to clean up this side of the base so we can path the heroes up towards the top. We want to path the heroes up to where the major defenses are. I think there's still an air defense, or not air defense, Inferno over at the top right of the base here. So we'll drop our heroes here to path them up towards this top compartment, and we'll sprinkle in a couple more Barbarians to keep the defenses distracted. The main goal with the Barbarians is to move ahead of the heroes to distract the defenses to keep the heroes up at full health. We use the Queen's ability to bring out the Giant and the Healer Puppet. We'll use a Wall Breaker here. It did mess up, but we'll use a couple more. We still have 3 left to drop. We have a bunch of Barbarians on the outside to path the heroes further in, dropping a Wall Break, and also using the Warren ability here to keep the Wall Breaker alive, but also heal the Barbarians back up to full health. The Eternal Tome is also good here for the Wall Breaker to open up into that Inferno compartment. Drop our small Barbarians over at the right side, and we also have the King's ability still to use, which will drop here on this Air Sweeper to open up into the Scattershot compartment here, moving further in with the heroes. We'll drop some more Barbarians over at the outside here. We still have the Royal Champion to drop as well, moving down towards the bottom compartment here. We'll drop the remaining Barbarians down here at the bottom once that wall breaker goes off, and we still have all the heroes basically up at full health with the giant as well, as we drop the Royal Champion up towards the top here using the ability immediately. And I did try to take out the Expo because it is locked on to the Warden, but we can take down the remaining buildings here for the easy 3-star on this Town Hall 14. A really fun attack strategy to use with the Barbarians and the Super Wizards. On to the next attack strategy. I don't use it too often, but it is the Super Yeti Smash. We'll be attacking another Town Hall 14 here, and we'll start off with the Flame Flinger we have as our Clan Castle Siege Machine. It's basically just to use it for funneling one of the two corners to make the Super Yetis head in to the middle of the base, so we'll drop that there. Also dropping the Royal Champion, which is the second portion of this funnel, dropping it up here, and using the ability immediately to bring out the Seeking Shield. We have the Recall and also the Invis to use onto our Royal Champion. You don't have to drop the Invis immediately once the other one fades. You can wait like I do here, just because we do have just the Expo locked onto the Royal Champion, and these lower Town Halls don't deal too much to the Royal Champion during these charges. So we'll drop our last Invis here, and we'll get ready with our Recall onto the Royal Champion. It did make the mistake of luring the Clan Castle to the poison to take down those furnaces, but everything else is heading towards our Flame Flinger, so we'll drop our Hog Riders to distract those there, even take down the Wizard Tower as well, and we'll clean up the couple of other outside buildings as the Flame Flinger did the job of taking down the corner a little bit there. So we'll drop our Super Yetis up towards the top with the rest of the heroes, and getting ready with the Wall Breaker to head in towards the Eagle compartment here. We still have the Flame Flinger up through that Clan Castle mistake, so we do have the last couple of shots going off there. We did wall break into this next compartment here towards the Clan Castle and those multi-Inferno towers. We'll get ready with probably the Warren ability here through these multis to heal the Yetis back up to full health. There we go. We'll also use a Rage through there. We still have the King's ability, which we'll use right about now through the Town Hall compartment here. We actually damage the Town Hall and take it down instantly with those Yetis. Using our final Rage over here at the right side, and this base is already shredded. We still have the Royal Champion to drop up towards the top of the base with 3 freezes to use on this multi-Inferno down towards the bottom, which we have the Queen in the middle of the base there, going to take down the Minion Prince, and then the multi-Inferno. We have the Royal Champion heading down towards the bottom, a last bit of defense as we get the cleanup going towards the bottom with the giant working around the outside, and the Yetis over at the right side of the base as they head up towards the top to clean up the rest of those outside buildings for another easy 3-star, another really fun attack strategy as well, which I should probably use more often here at the Town Hall 13. This next army is a pretty easy one to use, probably the easiest out of all 5 of these strategies. It is the Icy Witch Bat. We have this another Town Hall 14. The main goal with this army is to take down the Eagle Artillery as early as possible. This one's a bit weird though, because we do have the Clan Castle and Expo in the way we're going to push in. So we'll start off over here at the left side with 2 Ice Golems, Witches, and Wizards, and wall breaking into the compartment there, and then head up to the other corner and doing the exact same thing. So we do have the Clan Castle here that does lure out here, and we'll drop a poison onto that once the Lava Hound is about to pop. Also drop another Ice Golem there because the other ones did not go into this compartment. We'll drop the Log Launcher with the rest of the Ice Golems, the 2 heroes, the Queen and the Warden, saving the King for when the Log Launcher opens up into the base here, like right there. And we also drop the rest of the Witches in the middle of those 2 groups there, dropping the poison on that Ice Hound at the top of the base. And that did actually lure the Queen up towards the top, so we do have the heroes moving around the outside-ish of the base. So we have the Log Launcher moving in towards the middle. The Queen actually comes back, which is good with using the King ability to probably funnel everything back into the middle. We have an Elixir Titan coming out of the Clan Castle to deal some damage to the buildings and the surrounding buildings in the middle of the base here. Using the Warren ability through that single Inferno, we did take it down, so very good there. We still have all the heroes at full health, and we don't have too much base left already. We're up to 50%. Using the Royal Champion over at the right side to support these heroes moving through down towards the Town Hall, which is looking like it will be one of the final buildings to go down on this base. We still have the Bat spells to drop, and you want to drop this on the opposite side of your heroes, so we'll drop it down here here on this cannon and using the free spells onto the splash damage defenses like the Town Hall that is still up, but also these Wizard Towers and stuff like these Scatter Shots and the Multi-Inferno Towers as well. So we'll drop that final freeze onto the Wizard Tower and that Town Hall. We have all the heroes down towards the bottom here using the Royal Champion ability here at the very end. Didn't even need it for the attack here, as we get the last few buildings down for the easy 3-star on this 14 as a Tunnel 13. And on to the final attack strategy is the Super Witch Smash attack strategy. This is one I have been using the most out of the ranked push here as a Tunnel 13. We'll be attacking this Tunnel 15, which you will find up here in Golem 20, which is this attack takes place in. We'll drop the Warden down here towards the bottom because I do want to take out a good chunk of the base with our Fireball. You need the Fireball for this strategy here, and we did take down a couple of outside buildings before dropping our Invis on the defenses leading up to the Expo, which was the target for this Fireball, and dropping 2 Earthquakes to take down all of those buildings, the Clan Castle, Inferno, Scattershot, the Expo, and a bunch of other buildings there, as we have the Warden take down the Cannon so it doesn't take down our Warden. Once we drop our Witches here to path the Warden over to that direction, we want to push into the base with the Queen as well, the Ice Golem, and the Apprentice Warden while breaking into this compartment here. While everything works over there, we'll drop the King and Ice Golem in the order as shown to make sure the King stays up at full health, freezing the Monolith there, which is at a weird spot for this funnel. So we will use a totem to distract that Monolith and the King and stuff, as it is raged up from that Rage Tower. So we do want to take that down as soon as possible. We have the P.E.K.K.A. and Wizards taking that down. And I did risk using the King's ability way too early. I did not want to use another totem onto that Monolith. We did risk it and did reward ourselves with using the King's ability later on in the attack as we freeze the Town Hall, as we have these Super Witches work through, as I did talk about all of the funneling over at the left side. We take down the Town Hall for that second star, as we already have the 50%, and using the Royal Champion up here at the top, raging through the middle. The Warden decides to walk into the Town Hall poison, even though there is nothing else in that compartment, so he will die off in the middle of the base here. That is fine. We still have the Royal Champion and the Queen with all 3 of the Super Witches still up as we move our way over to the right side. We have the Yetis walking around the outside, taking on the outside buildings, and we also drop our cleanup over at the right side here, as the Royal Champion will go down to the double cannon here, and also the other couple of defenses, but we still have the Witches breaking through that wall, with the Queen's ability still being used here at the end of the attack for a 3-star against the Tunnel 15. If you want to see some more Tunnel 13 ranked content, check out the playlist I have linked on screen now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.